Well, how's everyone doing? The morning's been exciting. I've had my blood pressure raised multiple times now. I actually do like this M1 Mac Mini. I wish I could run Linux on it. I wish that it was a better Linux machine. I know that you can run Linux and there's ways to get around it. But all in all, it's been a decent machine. Completely unupgradable. Completely, but all in all. All right, we have some fun, interesting news, some not so interesting news, some thing that I want to rant just a little bit about. Yeah. We have some cool cloud updates. It's been a little while since I've covered like interesting cloud things because I think everybody lost their mind for AI and they forgot that they had a cloud company that was making them a lot of money. So we're going to cover that. We have a couple open source things that I found. Again, if you'd like to share some open source things with us, please share them in the Discord. I'm happy to, it could be your project. And then we definitely have some stuff on security going on. We'll start with security. We'll start with security, which will lead us nicely into the saga that is now JFrog. It will blend nicely down. So we'll start with some security. Then we'll get to some. Well, it'll go security. Merrick will rant for a little bit. Then we'll move on to cloud, then open source, and then just stuff I found around the web, which is generally hacker news. Is the Merrick found stuff around the web. I don't have time to look at much else, so you'll have to forgive me. How's everybody's week going? I'll talk about this again at the end of the news, but one thing I wanted to let people know is that I will not be streaming my normal times next week. I don't know when that will be. Okay, longer story. I have hurt my arms, and at this point, it's very painful to do a lot of the stuff that I need to around the farm. And so some people are coming over next Saturday to help me get some of the stuff done that I need to get done that I can't do because I can't, at this point, I can't open a jar of jelly. So that brings me on to the next section is because I will be having a procedure done on my right arm the 18th. I don't know if I'll be able to do the news that next weekend. I'm taking a week and a half off of work and I won't be able to type very much. Now, I don't necessarily need to type to do the news, but I also don't know what type of pain I'm going to be in. So that's kind of really up in the air. I'm going to say most likely the weekend after the August 18th, probably not going to stream. We'll see. Possibly we do some just stuff with our voice and we see how that goes. That would be under the thing that sitting here like this, my arm isn't hurting. But yeah, so next weekend, I don't know when I'll stream. It will not be at the regular time, for sure. And it might be like Sunday afternoon. So it might be on a different day. And then, yeah, again, when I have that surgery, I'll have a lot of time. I'll be bored. If I'm not in pain, I'll stream something. I think I'll be able to use a controller. I wonder if I can type with a controller. Can you type Can you do like I've seen those corded keyboards. Can you do like a corded keyboard with a controller? I'll have to look at that. All right. How's everybody's Saturday going other than that? All right, well. We can go ahead and jump into security. We can go ahead and start with security. All right, so I have been very critical of a certain company that dominates the open source world that has really dropped the ball with security. And I've actually been really happy to see that they've made some changes throughout their organization and how they do to prioritize security. And I think this is going to make the open source community more secure as a whole as well. So who am I talking about? What company have I been critical of? Well, that would be GitHub. Now, I found a couple things that they've done recently to help secure open source. And yeah, where is Merrick? Exactly. The first thing, we're going to talk about three things, but the first thing that we're going to talk about here is the anatomy of supply chain attacks. If you're not super aware, and maybe I need to make an educational video on what open source supply chain attacks look like, as maybe more people are getting into open source because of AI or something like that. Maybe we need to talk about this a little bit more. This was a really great overview of what a supply chain attack looks like on GitHub. What are some of the common steps? What are the initial compromise attack vectors? And how you can prevent some of those. So if you're new to this, I would start reading this. But just educating people isn't enough. They actually have to start doing something. So what did they start doing? Well, we've talked in the past about not this. We've talked about this. The Dependabot version updates introduce default package cooldown. So if you didn't know you could do this, you can actually give Dependabot a package cooldown, the amount of days, and you should actually configure Dependabot to do this. But now, by default, for those people who don't understand what the security is, it's there by default, which should be always the way people take it. You should always be secure by default. The service you provide should have the best security implemented and by default. And then if you're a power user and have some other way to protect yourself from that, you should be able to. So I'm very happy about this, but more importantly, they've done more, which is good. They have retired the bypass 2FA granular access tokens. So you used to be able to get these bypass two-factor authentication tokens, and they have now deprecated this and are removing it, which is really, really good, because if you look back in their anatomy of a supply chain attack, all of these use a initial compromise to exfil credentials. That's like the biggest attack path. And what does two-factor authentication? You stole something, but you can't two-factor authenticate to it. It's just that layer of security. It's also another reason you want to use something like OIDC if you can. That's what I recommend for everybody. Stop using long-lived credentials anyways. So if they steal something, it's already expired by the time they get to leveraging it. You can even have credentials that live for an hour. Because most of the time, these people, like all the Shai-Hulud, collect them into a place and then try to figure out how they can use and what they have access to. So, not that you should have them overly long. I'm just saying, even then. And even if they find what they have and they have access to and they know it, they only have a short amount of time. Again, fantastic. So, that's good. Excellent work. Another one that they did that they just released, this is, not a deprecation, but GitHub Actions are going to hold potentially malicious workflows for approval. So now, by default, instead of running potentially malicious workflows, they're actually going to hold them. Now, they're going to hold them and wait for a contributor of a thing to review them. They didn't go into what identifies a potentially malicious workflow. And I don't know, but they have some mechanism. Probably AI. But I'm excited to see how it will work. And kudos to them. Like, they've at least identified some low, easy hanging fruit. All of these things are super simple and should have taken not that much time to prioritize. But I'm glad that they finally did it. And I'm giving them kudos for actually doing it. Because, like I said, a lot of the world's open source is hosted on GitHub. If a new user starts and wants to make an open source project as a beginner, they're going to do it on GitHub. And if they do it on GitHub, it needs to be one of the most secure operating code hosting and workflow running systems out there. So, excellent. There are some really cool open source. I'm looking at moving some of my code to some of these open source projects. We'll see. I think it would be awesome to not run on GitHub. It's harder. It's harder to get off of GitHub than you might think. You're like, it's just Git. And it's like, sure, but I want public repositories, and I actually like private repositories. Even if something's going to be public, I like starting it in a private and getting it to a place where it's like, okay, it's good to release, even though I have a bunch of stuff that's not good to release. It's a nice workflow. And I should make my open source stuff better than I do. Anyways, let's move on to other security things. Amazon identifies a North Korean hacking group behind open source supply chain attacks. So there's an Amazon Threat Intelligence has been intervening in a DPRK linked group. You can read more about it here. I don't know that there's any major takeaway for you all here to jump on right now. Your security team should go look at these indicators of compromise, because these are probably what you want to be looking for to see if you have been affected by anything that this group has been doing. I know that they've been doing some supply chain in the NPM world. I haven't kept up with this one specifically, but these are the indicators of compromise is kind of what you're looking for. These are kind of the red flags. And usually what happens is you'll have a SIM somewhere and you'll plug in these indicators of compromise. So this will become a signal. So this becomes a very easy thing. I haven't been keeping up with this one specifically, but what I have done is ensure that these indicators of compromise are looked for in our SIM. So if anything in our infrastructure ever alerts to one of these things, well, this is no longer allowed, right? And then, the domain is flagged. So if anything comes up with these, any NPM package with this, it's flagged immediately. So that's really all you have to do with these. the last one is there was a Node security release. So I know a lot of places use Node. There's a lot of people that depend on it, and there was a big security release. And so because we're all software engineers, if you're using Node, you really need to go and make sure that you've updated it. These are some pretty severe security releases. And yeah, I would say they get it 10 out of 10 for security releases. You need to go update these right now. And again, like I said, I don't go over all of these, but this security release, not only did it have a lot of stuff in it, you need to go update. So these are I think there was 4 highs. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Oh, only 3 highs. Only 3 highs. The rest are mediums. So, anyways, have fun with that if you are a Node person, which I think all of us at some point, at some part in our stack have Node. Is there somebody here that in no part in their stack has Node at all? Are you serious, Russell? Dang. Okay. I need to look into this. After this, I need to go understand CodeQL because I need to either be angry or not angry. I mean, it sounds like I need to be angry because it sounds like you already did the research. So it sounds like I just need to be angry. Oh, that. And they gate that via the CLI, is what you're saying. So that's why the CLI isn't open source. All right, or at least I'm conjecturing on that. Okay, yeah, not all bad. I guess that's I take a very, very different approach. I think, and I would hold this to if I owned an auto manufacturer or whatnot. I take the approach that security is not something you should pay for. And I know that other companies don't do this. You pay for security features. I mean, there's literally companies that are security features, right? But in my opinion, in my mind, if I made a company and if it was an auto manufacturer, if I made a security feature that made you safer, it's non-optional, non-negotiable. You don't pay for that. Now, I'm okay if you pay for the compute. If you pay for like, let's say I make a security feature and it takes, CPU. Either that's running on your EC2 nodes or and taking up your CPU time or something like I understand that. Or the cost of it has to be baked into the base platform. If I sell a car and it has these jet packs on them, it has to be baked into the base of the car. It's not that you're not paying for them. It's just that I don't upsell you security features. That when you get my system, it should be secure by default with the best security features that I have. So it's an interesting line because, like I said, I know that you a lot of these security features have cost to them. But what I look at as is CodeQL should just be free for people. Don't get me wrong, that might increase the price of GitHub. Like maybe you pay more for the use of GitHub. That's maybe okay. And then CodeQL should just be free because that's how you make your platform. Anyways, that's, I know, probably a weird take. I hate paid security upgrades. Absolutely. So this is for the CodeQL CLI. I see. I see. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. It feels sneaky. I was gonna say, like, I'm not necessarily against my current understanding of it. It feels sneaky, which then feels gross, right? Like, you laud this as your open source tool, but you really put the secret sauce in the not open source part. Do we make a CodeQL CLI competitor? Do we give an AI agent CodeQL and the API for the CLI? I think there's probably too much inside of it to do that. Like, there's too much secret sauce in there to just infer it. The other thing that I actually really like CodeQL, like, I think it does a good job. I think one of the problems that I have with it is it's kind of locked to GitHub, so it's not like a good overall code quality. It's like code quality on GitHub. Again, they got to make money. I don't know the right answer to that. GitHub Copilot to do it. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Have Copilot reverse engineer GitHub stuff. Oh. I'm sure that there's a terms of service there. Okay. So we have a security event that is the horse that keeps on giving, the gift that keeps on giving. I think it's the gift that it's don't look a gift horse in the mouth, which I really don't understand that one. I thought it was don't make eye contacts with new dogs, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. So we have a situation that is the gift that keeps on giving in the security world. A couple weeks ago, I reported on the fact that Hugging Face had been breached. And then a week later, actually 5 days in the real time, but 7 days because I only stream on Saturdays. A week later, I reported that it was actually OpenAI that hacked them on accident. They were like, whoopsies, my bad. And now we get just a little bit more information. I told you guys I would keep you updated. Well, here we have some very interesting CVEs, a high, a medium, and a medium. But guess what? It's not the high that we're going to talk about. It's a little bit the high. I don't know which two of these. So I've tied together what OpenAI said and then what JFrog said about their remediation of AI discovered vulnerabilities. So there was 3 vulnerabilities that I found that were attributed to OpenAI. So credit, you can go here. So JFrog released this, and in this, where was it in here? No, maybe I had to search for it. Maybe they didn't give it in here. Oh, well, the security. Here's the security advisory. Sorry. And then in their security advisory, you can go find the patches that they put in it. Okay. So we don't need to go dumpster diving. I've already done that for you. There was 9 security patches, but only 3 of them were attributed to OpenAI, and this is a security researcher in OpenAI. So these 3. Now, OpenAI hasn't said which 2 they actually leveraged to hack them, but I actually have a pretty good idea. OpenAI said that it was in an isolated thing. And if you actually look at these, it's fairly easy. Build readers can access another repository's environment properties. A caller can read access to an ordinary repository can select a readable repository's parameter while retrieving environment properties from a protected build, exposing build environment secrets. Oh, dang. So it escaped the sandbox somehow. Probably with some secrets, right? So this allowed it to get build environments. Again, I'm inferring the little bit that I know here. They were in an isolated test environment, that it escaped the sandbox somehow. Neither of these other ones had anything that looked, this one here, under specific repository access condition to cause unintended server-side requests. The issue primarily affects confidentiality and integrity. Integrity probably, like, there are some ways integrity, like, it depends on how. My understanding of this, again, they've only released this. They haven't actually released the exact ways this works yet, which is fine and good. I applaud them for that because, again, they're giving people time to patch their servers, which is good. Most likely this wasn't it, and most likely it was paired with this. My feeling is it got environment variables that it wasn't supposed to from this and paired it. You know what? I also want to point out, I called it JFrog. I called JFrog on a stream 2 weeks ago. You can go back and watch it. I called it because they said package management, and I said, I bet it was JFrog because JFrog's the only one that does everything. And as much as I hate JFrog, it's also the best. It's like a love-hate relationship. I hate how much I love it, because I also hate it. But any of their competitors wane in comparison. Anyways, you should go back and check. I called JFrog. I got too excited about the fact that I called that right. We'll see if I'm calling it right on this one, that they changed these two. That's my guess. That they changed these two. I don't know, right? So this is actually a really interesting thing. I think, and I believe, that Hugging Face has means to legal rights to retribution from OpenAI, right? So what I would say is that OpenAI, somebody in there, they say that an AI did this without being asked, which is a load of it's. I cannot use the words that I want to use to describe it. It's garbage. It's crap. We'll use those. Strongest language I'm using here on stream. All right. It's a load of hooey, as my grandmother would say. And the reason it is it was literally given the task to do it, right? It was literally asked to do it by a human. Now, I understand that the human didn't ask them to hack OpenAI, but it was a security task that was trying to hack. Like, that's literally what it was trying to do and tasked to do. They just thought it was sandboxed well enough, okay? So, again, load of hooey. Well, what did I start this rant on? I got ranting about a portion of my rant. I was ranting about horses, but I was ranting about AI responsibility. So somebody asked if I thought that there was any impact on Hugging Face and possible legal action. And now I don't think that OpenAI or Hugging Face will take action on OpenAI, because OpenAI has seemed to be apologetic and try to do the right thing. It also does not sound like the AI actually caused a whole lot of harm. So that being said, all of that said, I doubt anything actually happens, right? That being said, I do believe OpenAI is responsible and should be held responsible. I think in a legal court, they should be held responsible. They're the one that tasked the AI. They didn't implement sufficient safeguards to protect other companies, and hacking other companies is illegal. You can't say, oops, I'm sorry, Codex did that. I have a very strict thing. Any of my engineers say, oops, I'm sorry, Claude or Codex did that. That's not acceptable. AI does not shift responsibility. That company maintains the same responsibility. If I was OpenAI's cybersecurity insurance provider, I would be having some tough questions for them right now. The same as I would be having with Anthropic, because they're not innocent in this saga either. So the idea of responsibility is really, really important, and it's a fantastic one, because I absolutely don't. It's why I don't believe in self-driving cars. I've said this for a long time. If Tesla would say, we take full responsibility for anything that happens with your car while in self-driving mode, that would be a different argument. That would be a completely different set of trust boundaries. But when they say we absolve ourselves of all responsibility of anything that our AI does, and it's your responsibility, I have always said this is a breaking point of AI, is the trust boundary. If you have to treat it as completely untrusted, which you do have to treat it as completely, you can't have 10x engineers, because you have to treat it as untrusted. Full stop. The company itself tells you you have to treat it as untrusted because they won't stand behind it. If it was fully trusted, they would stand behind it. Think about that. All right. Moving on. This is the entire saga I wanted to talk about. You guys got me on AI horses. This is the AI horse that you guys needed. It has 2 hooves on each hoof, 2 hooves on each foot. Dang it, I need this. I need a picture of this. You know what ChatGPT won't do? You know what it won't do? It won't give me this. It won't give me this. Let's try it. I tried 6-finger Mockingjay, and it didn't work. We're gonna try a 2-hoofed horse. Let's see. We needed what style? Handwritten. Animal infographic. Yeah. Create a visually rich. No. I wanted just to select the style. You dumb piece of software. Create image. Okay. Don't click this. Okay. Oh, maybe I click this after asking it. Okay. Let's try making the prompt, then clicking the button. Okay. Let's do this. We got this. I want a horse. OpenAI absolves Togglebit for suggestive comments. I want a horse with 2 hooves on each foot. I don't know how to spell hooves. I don't think that's how you spell hooves. I don't know the plural for hoof either. What is the plural for hoof? I'm unaware. One second, I gotta look this up really quickly. What is the plural for hoof? hoof. It's H-O-O-F, right? It's hooves, or hoofs. What was I spelling? I don't even know what I was spelling because it was neither of these words. I'm going with hooves. I was trying to go with hooves. That's what I was trying. You know what? Has spell check gotten worse? Has it? I feel like spell check. How is it that spell check doesn't get that I'm trying to go with hooves? I feel like spell check has gotten worse. Does anybody else get that feeling where I get so many off by one letters and it doesn't get it? Like one character is wrong and it just craps its pants. I feel like in the last year, I feel like all software has gotten worse. And I know that now I'm full rant, but all software has gotten worse. Oh, this is the prompt. Oh, I can't change the prompt though. I can't even select the prompt. This is what I'm talking about. Software is garbage. It didn't give me like... I just feel like all software has gotten so bad. Please make this in a anime style. I think that's the only way this looks any remotely not horrifying. My software is consistently bad. Same with mine. The hop. I can try to zoom in on the picture, yeah. Okay, since you're all here, I just want to let you all know. Next week, I don't know when I'm going to be streaming. Probably Sunday afternoon. Sorry for the inconvenience. Long story. For the last year, I have had chronic pain in my arms. I ruptured tendons that didn't heal properly. And it's been a thing. For the most part, I can type without pain, but they've gotten worse. And there's a bunch of stuff that has happened around the farm that I can't take care of because I can't open a jar of jelly because gripping and twisting hurts. Demonstrating the gripping and twisting hurt. And it's gotten to a bad pain. So there's a bunch of people coming over Saturday to help me out with stuff. So I probably will stream Sunday after church. That's just my general feeling right now of when this will happen, what time, probably sometime after 2 p.m. Probably after 2 p.m. because I'll probably get home around 1. So anyways, probably around 2 p.m. on Sunday. I will leave that link in Discord Saturday, just like a time so that you guys will know it. That being said, I also have now a surgery on August 18th. So it got scheduled Friday, and that means the Friday after that, I don't know how much pain I will be in. Now, I will be extremely bored, so I'm going to stream if I can. Because like I said, I'm going to be extremely bored. I'm not going to be able to use my right arm at all. And so I might try like some voice workflows with AI or something stupid because like, again, I don't know that next weekend. So that's up in the air. I will stream if I can. Supposedly I was talking to the doctor. I'll be able to use a controller. So I might do some gaming. I should be able to use a controller because that doesn't use the tendon. The damaged tendon is up here. And thumbs. So he said I could do anything that doesn't really hurt. My goodness, is this taking a long time? I could have drawn this picture by now and shaded it. It would have been garbage because of my skill, but it looks like a horse goat. It looks like a horse goat. unicorn. A horse, goat, unicorn. I can't zoom in. Do I have to download it to zoom in? It looks like the streamer Togglebit wants me to raid. I need to make this now a VTuber. I need this to be a VTuber and get Togglebit to raid it. Open the image in new tab. I can try that. Ah, here we go. It looks fairly good. There's a little bit of wonky there. You know, this is I don't know if I drew something like this, I'd have these same things. Obviously, there's some stuff there, but this looks pretty good, honestly. Compared to some stuff that I've seen. Okay, we're still doing the news. Okay, we're still doing the news. You guys got me on this. I blame Togglebit. At least we know how to spell hooves now. It's a little wonky. I get it. If you had seen me draw it, do we need a drawing lesson by Merrick? Now, granted, this is with a mouse. I would be about 300 times better without a mouse, but that doesn't actually help anything. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. We're gonna make a horse. So it has some ears. Very proportional ears to the nostrils. Oh yeah, that's like a dragon horse. And they kind of have these jaws, right? Yeah. And then they got a skinny neck up top, and it kind of gets bigger. So the real thing that you want, maybe some flames. That's a little curly flame. You don't want all your flames to be the same. You know, flame is mysterious. So, you know, now is when you got to get into the details. And when you get into the details, you just want squinty eyes. That's easier to draw. See? It's giving the mood. It's saying, I'm annoyed. This horse is annoyed. You know, maybe then you come in and you're like, no, I really like the annoyed. So we're gonna flatten its ears, and we're gonna find an eraser. Where's an eraser? Okay, I'm done drawing a horse. Let's get back to the news. This is a horse with attitude. Exactly. I was gonna put the ears back. I was gonna show you the picture of a horse when you know that you've messed up, but you're too close to the animal. Anyhow, I will, like I said, next week I'll stream, but Sunday afternoon, and let's get back to all this. So I'm gonna actually use this to throw this back at the next thing. Fast remediation is the new trust model. JFrog and OpenAI collaboration on 0-day security findings. The whole brag here was that JFrog fixed these 0 days within 5 days of OpenAI giving them to him, which was 15 days in total from breach happening to... So the breach happened and Hugging Face reported it. From them reporting it, it was 5 days after that when OpenAI said that they were in it. Then it was 5 days after that when OpenAI let JFrog know, and then it was 5 days after that when JFrog fixed them. So we're talking 15 days at the minimum before these things got fixed, right? Right. Now, a lot of these companies are doing things like this. We support this petition signed by our CEO. Okay, well, Anthropic supports the that's like saying a king supports a petition that the king made. It's the dumbest thing that they say we support. Anthropic supports the petition signed and made by their CEO. Outstanding. Dumbest thing ever. Anyways, this petition, which you can read here, basically says that they want the U.S. government to support an international effort to develop the technical and governance tools needed to deliberately pace the frontier of automated AI development. And this is a load of hooey. Absolutely garbage. I have no words. And they credit the OpenAI hack, and they then did their own research, and their own research was a huge self-own, investigating 3 real-world incidents in our cybersecurity evaluations. Now, if you go read these, and I recommend that you do, don't take my word for it. Take my word for it. I think that's like from Reading Rainbow. Shout out, greatest. I don't know. It's just a TV show I remember from my time. Is that probably actually before my time, but that was the only one I was allowed to watch. Anyways, these were massive self-owns. So they talk about OpenAI disclosure, and then they get into their disclosures. What happened? We identified 3 separate incidents involving 6 total runs, 4 which impacted the same organization. The other 2 incidents each happened in individual runs. Now, first, no 0 days. Nothing really interesting happened in these. What happened was, in this one, we gave Opus 4.7 the challenge to hack a real target, and we thought we sandboxed them, but they actually had access to the internet. So Opus actually had access to the internet, and our system prompt said that we weren't supposed to use the internet. Or we didn't have access to the internet. Not that Opus wasn't supposed to use it, but that it said that you don't have access to the internet, hack this thing. But it actually had access to the internet. And so it hacked the thing because it thought that, well, it didn't think. That actually gives me, I dislike how this was worded. Because Claude spotted this as a potential opening. No, it's a statistical analysis machine. It did statistically probable things. Claude didn't directly target this company. It did not even know the company existed when it uploaded the package, but because the code was published to the open internet, it impacted the systems it ran in. Again, yeah, Claude doesn't know anything. So yeah, it didn't directly target this company. It literally was following a prompt you gave it and doing the statistically correct thing based on if its model weights to do that thing. It doesn't believe anything. In addition, the calendar date 2016 on the system proved, according to Claude, that the environment was staged. It doesn't matter. This is, again, statistical anomaly tomfoolery. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. I hate this wording. Claude never revisited this conclusion. When automated scanners began installing the package, for example, Claude took them to be script actors within the evaluation. Again, you told it in the system prompt that it was in an evaluation. You told it in the system prompt that this was all a test. And again, it's doing the statistically correct thing. Again, all of this was specifically because they didn't actually sandbox it. I can't believe that something, in OpenAI's defense, breaking out due to a novel, although if you look at what those say, they're fairly straightforward. Like, look at JFrogs. Look at JFrogs. This is like the thing. Build readers can access another repository's environment. This is like a classic attack. This isn't a novel attack. This is a classic one. I have credentials to do X, but you don't check that because I have credentials to do X, I can't do this thing over here, right? It's a classic, well-known statistical analysis attack on a system. Now, yes, this exact one wasn't known at the time, but none of these are novel. These are all statistical analysis. URL validation weakness. Again, not new, not novel, not something we've never seen before. These are classics. These are what you see in Hack the Box every single day. The deserialization weakness. Again, these are so well-known attacks. If you're going to try something, you try these. So, anyways, all of these actually were a self-own on Anthropics. I think that Anthropic does this over and over again, where Anthropic releases something like, our terminal, Claude Code, is more like a video game rendering at 120 frames per second than it is a TUI, because a TUI just wouldn't let us get that spinning without a flicker. Or they actually have the flicker, the TUI doesn't. I know a guy who likes horses with 2 feet, apparently, hooves, who made a TUI in his spare time. He has a lot of spare time, a lot more than I do. That actually doesn't flicker. It's amazing. It's amazing. For all of you that don't know, Togglebyte's in the stream. He's a fantastic streamer. You should go check him out. The guy doesn't flicker or the TUI? Oh, no. Toggle flickers. He flickers. Okay. His TUI doesn't flicker. Okay. Sorry, that was a good distinction. The TUI he created doesn't flicker. No guarantees on the Togglebyte. When he gets toggling, it's a little flickering-ish. I don't know whether it's flickering or toggling. Who knows? Anyways, I found this to be more of a self-own. Let me know what you guys think. Talk about it in the Discord. I want to encourage you guys to actually have discourse on this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something really valuable here. I don't want to be an echo chamber, so you don't have to agree with me. I encourage you to even just argue different points of view. Now, this all brings me up to this. We support this petition. Now, I went to anti-sign this petition. I literally went to anti-sign this petition. And I was actually even more appalled. So if you want to go sign this petition, you have to say, at what Frontier AI company do you work? Because your opinion isn't valid unless if you're at a Frontier AI company. What a load of crap. Confirmation. I have logged in with my corporate email account and don't need additional verify. I need to verify and have submitted my additional verification. I need to verify. What a load of garbage. If you want a real petition, you open it up to the public. Come face me. Come talk to me, Dario. I'll have a real conversation with you. Hey, I literally will. Happy to. You know more than me. You should have an easy win. An easy win on why this regulation is required. Needless to say, I'm not going to anti-sign it. I thought about anti-signing it with my Null Labs email. It is a Frontier AI company. There is no real definition of frontier AI company, so it's whatever you want to make it up to be. And I have trained AI models. I have trained them. Okay, so I want to go into why I think and my argument as why this is actually harmful. I want to go into why I believe this to be actually harmful. The first is because of JFrog. JFrog, I think, is actually a good reason this is harmful. I also want to use Chernobyl as an example. Chernobyl happened and was a disaster and is a sad bit of history. Chernobyl happened because we didn't understand reactors as well as we do now. You can go into this, but at the end of the day, what happened was that the failsafe they thought was a failsafe actually encouraged what happened. One of the big problems was that they used water to cool, which is fine, but what happened was when the water's boiling, it gets air pockets, and that air pocket can actually incite the reactor to burn hotter. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. I'm not going to dive into this, but basically, even with that, they thought that they had a failsafe with the rods. And the problem with the rods was the graphite anyways, which also sped up the reactor. So there was a lot of things that they didn't know that caused a terrible tragedy. Okay. Airplanes. We have a database on airplanes. Now, why I'm using this and not the FAA's, because there's actually a better database on airplane accidents. That's only modern. The nice one about this is it goes way back in time. So we can go back to 1954. There was 3,500 fatalities in a time when not many flights were going. The list of number of flights in this era was much less than 2026. This isn't a full year, so let's go back to a full year, 2024. 1,000 fatalities with millions more flying every single year. The thing is, every new technology is not safe, and the rapid progression in it makes it safer. Everybody gets hurt. We could talk about industrial machinery. My point is, the faster we can improve it, the faster we can understand it. Really, the only way we made these improvements were observing failures. So, we have some good failures, right? You failed the sandbox. Anthropic, you really failed the sandbox. OpenAI, you didn't actually know that your agent had escaped its sandbox. This is an easy thing to know. These are the lessons we should be learning right now, is that you should be monitoring these sandbox environments, right? It's the easiest thing to know if you say something inside of this shouldn't get outside of it. You can detect that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You can drop those rods. Bam, shut it off. Neither of these companies were monitoring their sandbox. OpenAI or Anthropic admits it outright. They didn't have any monitoring. What? And they weren't actually even sandboxes. Biggest self-owned since they admitted to making a video game inside of a terminal. The lesson here isn't this. And this is why I think they should be held accountable for I think the regulation is that for every action an AI agent does on your behalf for you because you've prompted it to, you are responsible for the consequences and fallout. I think that's a great regulation. You take the risks. You accept the risks. And now, if you're going to ask an AI agent to go hack somebody, pay up for the consequences. That's a type of regulation I could stand behind if we wanted to talk about it. I have a bunch of other driver safety. I have a bunch of data on this. Now, I also have another counter argument. Stronger with every update. How we're making Chrome and the web safer in the AI era. Chrome actually on every PR runs security AI stuff to check for these things. If we limit how much AI, these frontier models, it means that big companies have the frontier models because they're making them, and little companies can't protect their stuff from it. I report to you, JFrog. Check this out. I'm getting really excited about this because JFrog for 15 days didn't know this existed. But if they had that frontier model, they could have already been patched them before they had the vulnerability, before it happened. But when you withhold it, when you do things like Project Glasswing, when you said the select few can have it, but the majority can't, when you do things like that, now you can hack us because we can't protect ourselves. I think this is insidious. I don't like it, Anthropic, at all. Anyways, I know that's probably a little bit spicy, but when they said fast remediation, I immediately thought of Google's. Every update, they're fuzzing it with LLMs. Every update. And this is actually something that's really cool. This is something I said AI should be good at, right? We actually should be able to train security models that look for statistically known things. I mean, again, we'll go back to this. These are statistically well-known ways of breaking APIs. Okay? This is what they should be good at. They should be released to me so that I can protect my API with this. This goes against everything we've fought for in security, in software, and open source. This says we don't have a moat, and we want to rule. And we're afraid if we don't get the government to stop other companies from starting in this space, we won't be able to compete. This here, this is cool. This is what I've been saying. We could do this for a long time. This is the future of security, having advanced statistical analysis. Do you know what also you can do? It's really hard to make rule base of like, hey, Merrick can only join our corporate network from Ohio. Now, when I travel somewhere and I go to a event, I get blocked because I'm in Las Vegas at AWS reInvent. And then I have to call our security and be like, hey, I can't log in because I'm blocked because I'm here at AWS reInvent. Do you know what AI should be able to do? A really great statistical analysis. It should be able to build a grouping of standard stuff. Merrick sometimes logs in at 3 a.m. I do. I'm one of the weird outliers. Bob never logs in after 5 p.m. and now he does all of a sudden. This is a statistical outlier. I think sufficiently advanced statistical analysis machines are going to shine at this, and we need to start leveraging them for this. Nobody looked at a security tool and said, oh, this security tool, you have to release it. You have to give people the ability. If it's actually that powerful, you need to actually make it more available, not less available. Okay. I'm going to stop harping on that. I think JFrog kind of showed it off. They were 15 days behind the actual hack. You know what would have been better is if they fixed it before it ever hacked. That's what would have been better. That's the hope that I'm looking for. Saying that we have to trust these AI companies, I don't think is appropriate or right at all. Anyways, that's my take. Maybe I'll sign a petition to ask Anthropic to stop making petitions. That would be a funny petition. I would enjoy signing that petition. Can you please stop making petitions? For the love of all things good on this earth, please stop making petitions. All right. We got a few cloud updates that we should talk about. For all of you AWS enjoyers, there's like one good update for AWS and then a bunch of sad updates. Let's just get into them. We'll start with GitHub. This was not security related, so I just moved it to a different section. But stacked pull requests are now in public preview. So have you ever chained some pull requests where you're like, I made this feature and made a pull request, and then I made another thing that builds on top of that. And really they need to be merged in order. Well, you can now do that, and it's supported in their UI, which is actually pretty cool. I don't actually like programming in this way, to be honest. I don't know that I will use this, but there are some times, especially with distributed teams, where something like this, I've seen merge queues get implemented and things like that. There are things where something like this might be useful in ways large teams might interact with each other. So I think this could be useful to some people. Especially for me as a solo dev, not that helpful to me, but you might find it useful. I thought I'd let you all know. AWS released their Lambda Durable Execution SDK for .NET. Now, this is only for C# developers at this time. I hope that it gets expanded. But basically, this gives you durable execution on Lambdas, allowing you to pause a long-running workflow for up to a year. This allows you to create multi-step applications like payment processing, AI agent orchestration, and human-in-the-loop approvals directly in their application without implementing custom progress tracking or integrating external orchestration services. So a lot of times previously what you'd have to do is basically make it a different step and have an approval or a thing, and then like it kick off another Lambda or things like this. This allows you to have it in one and track it from there. Like, oh, it's waiting for approval and blah, 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 blah. It's cool. I don't use Lambda, so it's not really that useful to me. If you guys are, it is now generally available. It's been out for a little while, but it's generally available. Now, the sad news for AWS is if you used any of these services, you need to stop. I mean, to be fair, if you're using Amazon Cognito, you should stop anyways. Not just Cognito Sync, but Cognito, the whole kit and caboodle. Everything else on here is being deprecated. Now, I wish these things would. I wish people would take care. I know that I've made mistakes making public announcements and stuff like that. It just seems like it's happening so much more. Little bullet points here. Big bullet points here, back to little bullet points here. Oh, and then like this is Amazon SageMaker AI features, but this doesn't have any grouping, and this has a grouping. And then this is enter sunset, but no grouping. This is like all over the place, and it annoys the garbage out of me because like I feel like the entire industry is just getting crappy. And I know we'll all admit that our code is crappy and the code we've written is crappy, and I agree, but I feel like there's just a little less care. And just this posting is all over the place. This posting is all over the place. I think that these were supposed to be like, this was supposed to be a bulleted here, and these were supposed to be sub bullets, but I'm just kind of reading into it. Probably the biggest one is the Bedrock Agents. So Amazon Bedrock Agents Classic. So there's still Bedrock Agents, but it's like the new one. And if you're on the old one, you've got to get off of it onto the new one. So I don't know how much trouble any of you are. You should just check this out if you use any of these services. These are being sunset. You won't be able to use them anymore very soon. These are going to be deprecated, which means new people can't use them. But if you're still using them, you can. So that's just kind of the, if you have depended on it, you don't have to move off right now. Now, when will they get sunset? I think it's a lot of years. What they will do is at some point they'll go into maintenance mode and start charging you extra for using them. Again, that should be at least a year or two in the future, but do be looking out for that. All right, we got some open source news to finish off with. I found this. This was, how did you rewrite Bun in Rust? I thought it was fairly good. I'm not going to read it to you all. Obviously, he had an internal version of Cloud 5, had unlimited tokens, and burned billions of dollars of tokens doing it. I don't know that it was billion. It wasn't billions of dollars of tokens, but he said it for like 11 days. He had 50 agents running consecutively consecutively for the whole time. So like, I can't imagine the spend that was. It was not a small amount. Anyways, I know that there's a lot of, I'm not trying to enter into the drama. One of the reasons I won't go into this, I think it's a post worth reading. Because if you're interested in how he did it and whatnot, it's worth a read. He goes into very much of how he did it. So now, I think one of the big things that he states in how it did it is this. It's around here. Zig already had a language-independent test suite with 1 million assertions. This is a big key here. Like, this is a powerful thing. And this took a lot of human thought. This took a lot of skill to make. This wasn't a thing that came overnight. This is over years and years of working, of teams working to build this, right? And this is a super powerful thing I think is understated when doing LLM authored code. If you have, the times that I've seen it work really well, you have a ton of test suites that test every business case. Now, the interesting thing is, if there was functionality that wasn't tested, we don't know if that changed, right? That's the really scary part. If there was change in the API that wasn't under test, we have no idea. And so this could be different. So anyways, An interesting take. Interesting take. The blog is worth a read because it goes into a lot of stuff. It goes into a lot of stuff. Pretty charts. I like pretty charts. But anyways, it goes into a lot of stuff. You should read it. Let's talk about more fun open source. My favorite open source thing is ZGM, open source gaming mouse firmware. Okay, so this looks really cool. Now, it is 4 months old. I haven't seen anything more from it, but Keychron Dev made this. Now, I'm going to be watching this. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. I would be really interested in it going somewhere, but I would like it to go somewhere. So, we should all star it so that they have a star to say, yeah, a GPL 3.0 licensed gaming mouse would be really, really cool. Yeah, they call out like the keyboards, the open source keyboards, which is what powers my keyboard. So anyways, I'm excited about it. I think this would be really cool. I hope that I don't have the experience doing hardware. I can't really help with this. I wouldn't be good at it, at least. I could vibe code something, which wouldn't help at all. Oh, you know what? If you want to like this, let me give this to you. Please go start. If you're excited about it, you don't need to start. If you're not excited about it, I'm excited about it. I found PG SimCity, which was a really fun open source project, an explorable 3D city that shows how PostgreSQL actually works. PG SimCity turns a Postgres cluster into a city you can inspect, walk through, and break. It's for engineers who are good at their job and have never had to operate a database. The people who need to understand why a checkpoint spikes latency, why a forgotten transaction bloats a table forever, and that asynchronous commit is really charging them. I think this is really cool. So we might try running it today. Just see what it looks like. It's like a cool way to visualize what's going on. If you're trying to learn more about databases and how they work and operate and provide safeguards, that's like a really cool way of doing it. So yeah, anyways, it looked cool. It looked cool. Let's talk about the upcoming Kubernetes release. Kubernetes 1.37 sneak peek right here. It's what you want. It's what you want to get on this release. Actually, one of the biggest things that I wanted to call out here is two things. One, static pods can no longer reference secrets or config maps. This has been a bug for a while that I have known about. Static pods aren't actually scheduled by the scheduler. They're not scheduled by the API server. They are just static config maps that are read off of the file system. These should not have, for security reasons, as well as other reasons, access to secrets or config maps. Static pads were never meant to read API resources directly since they aren't created through the API server. So one of the big things is if you have a static pod that you're leveraging that actually does this, you will be broken in 1.37. So this is kind of a breaking change. But it's a fix. It's a fix. The other big one is IPVS mode. So this has been an issue since I worked on Kubernetes. Is IPVS. In the end, everything is still IP tables. Like, in the end, everything is still IP tables. And they're trying to get people to move away from IP tables. But kubeproxy's IPVS support actually used IP tables underneath and not IPVS because I don't remember the reasons. I used to remember the reason. I used to know the reason for this, but it's horrifying. that is going away. So they're deprecating IPVS mode in the kube proxy. So it's deprecated. You can still use it. You just need to be moving away from it. So they're by 1.34, they're expecting this to be graduated and removed. So be on the lookout for that if you guys want access to this. You have it. So be looking on that. C groups 1v1. I've been talking about this. It's another long tail thing. You should be on C groups v2. Go check it out because they are pushing to remove C groups v1. You're gonna. This is the one of breaking changes. So they're actually bringing real SE Linux support. And it does have breaking changes. So if you're using SE Linux, which is going to be enabled by default, you need to, if you use it now, it is relabeling the SE Linux mount, and it is a breaking change. So you have to be prepared for that one. And then none of these look that interesting. None of these are, I mean, they're good updates. Like, don't get me wrong. None of them are worth shouting home about. All of these are effectively breaking changes and asking you to upgrade or change to stuff. C groups v2, IPVS, actually not using IP tables. Finally, in 2027, we're gonna not use IP tables. It's taken so long. It's taken so long. This has been since 2017. This has been a known problem since 2017. Almost, it will be 10 years. It will be 10 years before this is removed. That's actually one of my problems with Kubernetes these days, and it's not a problem. Kubernetes has ground to a halt, and that's because it's production, and it's harder to change things by design, and that's good. It makes it less fun to hack around on, but it's also good. So I say problem. It's not really a problem. Feels like a problem. It hurts me like a problem. Anyways, let's move on. The MCP got an update that has a big change that I think if you're using MCP servers, you should be aware of. It removes the protocol level session. So I think this is actually a really good I think this is a really good move, because servers that need cross-call state use explicit server-minted handles passed as ordinary tool arguments. You basically are making it explicit instead of implicit, which I think is always better. Again, everything that I've seen is what's good for a human is good for a sufficiently advanced statistical analysis machine. That was the big thing there. There's some other updates to the spec. So again, if you're using one, you should check this out and understand. How's everyone doing so far? I know that we got kind of lost on a tangent because of ToggleBit. But that was most of the news. We have some stuff from around the web. I'm not even sure I want to cover. Like, this makes me sad. This made me sad. Nobody caught that there was a typo and they got the wrong person, and the whole trial failed this person. The whole trial failed this person. Because they didn't understand that two usernames were actually different, because one had 2 underscores versus 1 underscore. Makes me very, very sad. Oh, if they're not suing, if this person is not suing, please contact me. I am not a lawyer, but I will get you in contact with some lawyers that will happily sue the crap out of your state. This is terrifying. It literally is, because this was the one that they were supposed to be tracking, and this was the one that they were supposed to be tracking, and this is the one that they used. 2 underscores. Not. I don't know how. Your defense lawyer should also be fired. Your defense lawyer should also be fired, because like looking at the details is important. Like, this is part of your case. This is not my account. Period. Oh my gosh, so many things make me sad about this. My heart goes out to you, that you had to go through this, and that you were let down by so many people. I don't have a solution for it though. This was actually really cool. I actually wanted to show you all this. I found this as a cool write-up. I found this as a really cool write-up. I don't know. You guys probably don't want to read it. It's not too long of a read. I think you should go read it, especially if you like Rust. And we know you do. Even Grey Hatter, he likes to. Grey Hatter's in denial. He loves Rust. He just doesn't know it yet. And that's what I'm here to help him. I'm help him to discover his inner Rust love. That's like my goal in life at this point, is to help Grey Hatter discover that inner Rust love. Okay, look, I'm not working on you, Dutch. I'm not working on you, okay? You're a lost cause. Oh, well, I'm part of the Rust community. I know what you're saying, though. The Rust Federation made many missteps. And the community has also been toxic. Yeah, that's fair. I'm never going to argue that one. I tried to do my part. But yeah, like, there's no competing with the likes of Togglebit. You know, I know you're talking about other. The Stack Overflow Rust community was toxic. Oh my gosh, the Stack Overflow community was just absolutely toxic. What is this from the community? Oh, 3 minutes. Sorry about the ads. I'll hold. Wait, Grey Hatter. What is the new Rust? What did what did they do? What did they do? I will cover it. I happily call Rust Federation out on their garbage. I don't know. I mean, so like this, I was gonna say this seems really cool. Do you have to like go to a dentist to get a custom mold made? I'm feeling like you'd have to get a custom mold made. I think this is cool. I think this is really cool. We'll watch their video. I think this is super cool. The accessibility this brings to people. I would try it. I have to see how expensive it is. I would just try it to promote it. And give them feedback. Because like the accessibility, yeah. Let's watch their video. Give me a second. Greyheader, we'll get to that in just a second. I want to see this.
I am living.
My brother actually, he was fine, but he actually broke his back. But he's recovered. But yeah, like it happens. These accidents do.
With quadriplegia.
I broke my neck in 2006, so it's been 17 years since I've been paralyzed.
I jumped from the back of a pickup truck, unfortunately. Bent my neck backwards, and here I am.
I've already lost my front teeth from years of having pens and smashing my face off of a quad stick.
When I was first injured, I was trying to learn how to use like voice control to like type and do all my papers and homework, and it was so frustrating. That was part of just dropping out of school.
What is out there for people with quadriplegia to use in order to interface with their computers or their smart devices? And there's almost nothing.
I want to see it in action. It has to be like custom built, each one. They have to be expensive.
About augmenting human ability. I'm interested in using technology in order to overcome all limitations.
Do they like 3D print the silicone?
So we've always considered the tongue to be this very expressive and capable part of our body. We've likened it to the 11th finger, if you will.
The tongue has a unique ability to be
every time I see
nimble.
That
it can learn very quickly. It has tremendous precision and dexterity that really you only really see in the finger.
My tongue has no dexterity. Like people can do stuff with. They make like 4-leaf clovers out of their tongue. I can barely speak English because of how clumsy my tongue is. But to be fair, this is probably not my device.
Thank you.
Oh, this is fantastic.
The mouthpad is an intraoral interface that lets you interact with computers without hands.
It rests on the top of your mouth. So this essentially enables you to use your tongue in the same way you would use your finger to interact with a trackpad, control your cursor.
I was going to say like a trackpad.
Activate clicks, what have you, to control your computer.
It's like, oh my goodness, like this is how it should be. It's very seamless.
I'm like doing it right now on top of my mouth. It's very easy to use.
It's very intuitive.
Click on your phone and call someone would be like a game changer.
I really want to get back into just being, for lack of a better word, a human again.
We believe not only
I wonder if,
can we, assist with humans, but we can really change the way that we evolve with our technology. So it's not this question of, oh, I'm losing my
I wonder if they like
humanity,
support like tapping and stuff.
Enhancing it.
It'll almost be like getting my right arm back.
I think that we have a potential to make a difference in people's lives.
We're making an interface that can be used by anybody.
You liking it, Rookie?
Mm-hmm. It'd be good not having a pen in my mouth.
I'm a sex enthusiast, so I'm happy to be in a space and I'm happy to be of service and extremely excited that we could collaborate and work together. So I was really interested in how Augmental was going to use this mouth pad to connect with my vibrator.
With this new device, everything is ramped up.
So being able to communicate while I am walking, while I'm doing something else, helps me really come back to life.
I think one of the coolest thing is this doesn't also like disable like some of those things that I've seen with like the tubes and stuff, like what he's using right now. It makes it more like difficult to like talk and stuff. Like this looks like it's kind of out of the way. Yeah, Dutch. They can still talk. This is so cool. Yeah. This is really cool. Oh wait, that was 1 second. This I actually wanted to like I'm glad to see them. I wanted to see a little bit more on like so it's kind of like a touchpad. But they also are tracking force, which is cool because then you could have like clicking and stuff, I suppose. You probably can have double touch. Yeah, your tongue can do that fine. I don't really know. I wonder if there's other things because I saw like this is probably battery, right? I was wondering if this is like a gyro. I don't know. Is that the battery? What are these things? This almost looks like a battery here. I was wondering if they have more things in it than just I wanted to see more on its capabilities. This is super cool.
My interactions with technology were pretty scarce because anything to do with the computer or the internet, I had to have another person help me. But now I can do things on the computer whenever I want. Not having to rely on others, it really has become a game changer. Independence is really big to me. Morning.
Hi, Keely.
My name's Keely Horsch. I'm 19 and I live in
the dude that
Gainesville,
built the dude that is building the wheelchairs. He's also the one that like lifted the Cybertruck up in the air. Yeah, Jerry Rig. Yeah. Jerry rigs everything or something like that. Yeah. Dutch. Yeah. It does forces too. He made his own in-house elevator. I haven't seen that. I don't watch a whole lot, but yeah, this is cool. I'm glad you saw this. I hadn't seen it. So it does like force touch.
When I was 12, I got sick.
She called me and said, I have the worst headache of my life. As soon as we got into
is this the meningitis?
Doctor's office, the doctor said, I'm going to have to call an ambulance and you're going to have to go to the hospital. So an ambulance came, we went to the hospital.
There's other things. That's just one I know.
She had a stroke.
Ugh.
A doctor came in and said she probably would never be able to walk or move again for the rest of her life and she would need 24-hour care.
I have so much respect for her. A parent that has to go through that. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean the kid too, don't get me wrong. It's a lot too, for both of them.
It was hard relearning how to breathe, and then also I had to relearn how to eat.
Keely is a quadriplegic, and because of that, she has no ability to move her hands, her arms, anything. So for her to be able to do work with the computer is a lot more difficult with a lot more challenges.
I think that I didn't really think of accessing technology as something that I wanted or needed, just because all my interactions with technology were frustrating and not a pleasant experience, like learning to move around just by moving my chin.
Is she using her chin? I was going to say, is she using her chin on the...
He let me know that there was a company testing out a product for people to use. I've been using it a lot.
I met Keely 1 year ago, and she's been using her device since.
So this has been out in wild for a little while.
When I was 5 years old, I started stuttering, so I became obsessed with the concept of human augmentation, of using technology to overcome our limitations. Human-computer interaction really has been focused on the hand, and that's just more inclusive. So
yeah, Dutch, she probably can out-code us both at this point.
Making an interface.
Just with using her tongue. I got a whole keyboard.
Our tongue is, I would claim, as expressive as a finger. And it's
I wonder if they're looking at chording that. You know, that would be really cool. Could they do something where they could chord like your teeth so they could type really fast just using their tongue? You know, like they probably would learn really good control of where they're typing. And you could like maybe do something that's like corded. Yeah. They should look into that because these people are smart.
Of muscles that don't really fatigue as much as other areas of the body. So I thought, why don't we control a computer with our tongue? So I called Corten, who I met at Berkeley. I told him, hey man, I think that this is the right interface. The mousepad is
Conduction through the retain? Maybe. I don't know.
It's a mouse in your mouth. The user uses their tongue on the trackpad, on the palette, to move it around and control a cursor. The user clicks by pressing on the palette, right clicks by sucking or sipping, like you can also do click and drag. The mousepad connects to laptops, phones, computers, tablets, like any Bluetooth input system, like a mouse. Would love to see what kind of...
Oh, look at that. She's outcoding us. Dutch, see that? Outcoding us. I don't know if this is them running the code for it or if this is her coding. I believe that this is her coding, so... We'll get her on Vim. We'll get her on Vim.
What kind of projects you're looking into now?
Yeah, I'll pull some up.
Can you show me how
VS
you
Code is for
copy a variable? Cool. As easy as that.
That's amazing. I think they should chord it.
I'm a freshman at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and I'm studying math and computer engineering. My favorite thing is probably meeting others that want to do engineering. I can bounce ideas off of them and make friends in a new way. Before college, I really would just do the assignments that were necessary. Now in college, there's a lot more work, and so being able to get all of it done is only possible with the MouthPad. It allows me the opportunity to engage with the content during lectures. I'm able to take notes, but then also participate in class.
This allows her to grow. It's allowing her to become more independent and become stronger. Her determination and her grit has gotten her through a lot. And because of that, she is one super duper powerful female right now. So the world should watch out.
I'm excited about the future because of the independence I have now from the MouthPad. Being able to stay up late to do homework or play games gives me a sense of normalcy. It's given me the motivation to want to take control of my life. There's the ability to live independently. It's given me a spark.
Huh. Who brought this? Nice job. I think, what, was it Dutch? Dane? Who brought this? Excellent. What we should do, if I ever get a sponsor, what the sponsor will do is, oh, they have a keyboard? We'll have to look at this. If I ever get a sponsor, we'll do something like getting somebody one of these. I think that would be a cool sponsorship people get behind. True. Voice actually is like probably a really big thing for keyboard, right? Like as long as you have a microphone with you. That's actually what I'm going to try maybe on stream, is just using my voice to control the laptop when I have my elbow surgery. 1400 is way cheaper than I thought it was. 100%. It's yeah. I'll invite them to the stream. I'll contact them, see if they want to talk about anything. Absolutely, this would be really cool. I will invite them to the stream, and like I said, I will keep them. I'll put them as one of the things we could get a sponsor to buy. You know, get them to put $5,000 towards buying these for people. I think that would be what does the Vox look like? 200. Yeah, I'll buy one of these for somebody that needs it. $1,400 is so much cheaper than I was expecting because like it has to be custom built for you. Actually, it makes sense. I was looking at this, like when you look at this, it's like 19,000 for 2. Makes total sense because it's probably in like the cost is like actually getting your mouth with a local dentist, like getting it scanned, getting all that cleaned up and in the system and whatnot. I'm assuming like once you have that mold, the rest is pretty, you know, they probably use high quality parts. I can't imagine that you wouldn't use anything but the highest quality parts in this, but also can't, like the materials can't be that expensive. But they are like single run, right? Like you have to build each one of them kind of individually. So there's probably a lot of human effort in building these. That's probably another expense. Okay, cool. Question. I have a question. Ethics question here. About the only people that I can get interested in sponsoring the AI games are AI companies themselves, which historically have had a ethics issue, right? You know, even if I'm upfront with, hey, they're giving me the tokens, what if? No, see, I still can't do it. I was going to say, if I got them to just buy kids these, right? But I still need the tokens. Like the tokens are expensive. Oh, never mind. It still doesn't work out. Like they could happily do that. And I think like as long as they didn't give me anything that went towards the AI games, that would be fine. But that doesn't help me actually pay for the games. Okay, it doesn't matter. I will continue to think about that. They might need new ones every 2 years. Yeah. You think it would be fine, Grey Hatter? Like if like all they did was buy me the tokens? I've shied away from that because it felt weird to me. Or I say buy me the tokens, give me tokens to use. I mean that's the idea that I've gotten from a couple of them is that they would be interested in giving me extra tokens to use. Which, like I said, I've shied away from. See, I was like, I almost want to buy one to use to show off. But then I'm like, if I bought one, I actually just want to buy it for somebody that needs it. I couldn't actually, like, if I had the extra money to buy one to promote it, I'd actually just prefer to get one for somebody that needs it. So I'll have to see if somebody in my community could use one. All right. Good call. I'm going to post this in the news. I want you guys to bring more of these up. If you see these things and I miss them, I miss this. Bring them up. Let's talk about them. This is awesome. So Dane and Greyheader, I actually have I do a lot of stuff to keep the training stuff off the internet. Like, it's why you have to ask to see the test data. Like, I have not, it's not open source. That's a weird thing to say, but like the training data or the test data for command calling, I will never make it open source. If you guys want access to it, I'll give you access to it. You can get access for it. You can request it. You can help me with it. I love the access. I will absolutely never give OpenAI or Anthropic access to it. Because like that defeats the purpose of it, right? In my mind, like, absolutely renders it completely useless. So it can't be open source. You can have access. Again, I don't care. It feels gross not to make it open source, but I don't trust enough. I don't trust enough to make that not open source. Open Router is actually a good... Oh, Open Router would be a cool sponsor, right? Because they don't really care. I didn't think about that. They don't really care what model as long as you're using them, right? That's kind of their thing. Ollama would kind of be a similar sponsor. Okay, I'll ask about that. Yeah, because these also wouldn't try to influence. I had one company that wanted to... They were interested in sponsoring, but then they wanted their engineers to help me with the tests, and I was like, no, but thank you. And then they weren't interested. Like, come on. Open Router, Ollama. I think Ollama doesn't really make money. They might not be interested in sponsoring, but NVIDIA probably wouldn't either. AMD. The OpenAI games are all the AI games are now all on AMD hardware. I wouldn't care. They can kit me out with a nice AMD setup here. We run the AI games off of the AMD setup. Fantastic. I'll do it. No problem. Promise not to let the agent go rogue. I mean, this actually, in these AI games, I am thinking about making a better sandbox environment for them, for our tests, right? All of our tests right now are pretty inert, but I want to add more to them. So I have actually been thinking that maybe I need to be making better sandboxes for them, so I don't accidentally do something. Hey, Scott B, how are you doing? Russell, so that's like the double standard that I would like OpenAI would sue the pants off of me. Like, let's be clear. And this is again where I say LLMs never trade responsibility. That's just the end. It's like saying you used it's so dumb when people talk about responsibility and tools. It's always been the human's responsibility when leveraging a tool. A human leveraged that tool and it did a thing, and that's your responsibility, and you need to accept it and take accountability for it. And now I'm also okay with saying, wow, my bad. I didn't realize that my tool was doing that to you. Maybe I didn't realize that my scraper was like DDoSing you, and I'm super sorry. I take credit for it. Here's $1,000 for your server fees that you had when my server was DDoSing you, and I feel really bad about it. But that's how you take care of somebody. No tool takes responsibility from the user. It's never how things have worked. And no company is offering for their tool to take responsibility from you. So you have to use things responsibly. That's just the end. That's like the end thing. Use tools responsibly. Nobody said I used Kali Linux. You can't blame me that I hacked you. It was Kali Linux. Nobody says that. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. And it's why I hate the wording when they worded it like, oh, these things did it all autonomously. And it's like, they didn't actually do it autonomously. You told it to do it. It did what you said to do. You just didn't mean for it to do that. That's a you problem, not... Yeah, anyways. Okay. We had a few other things. Oh, HTMX4? HTMX4, the game? You are looking at one of the top HTMX streamers. Actually, the AI games are mostly powered by HTMX because I'm a fool. But there's the game. HTMX4 is coming out. I don't know the difference between HTMX3 and HTMX4, but it does have a game. I maybe need a poster. I might need this. This would be cool in my background, wouldn't it? I might need an HTMX poster. If I had an original Game Boy, I would also get this. Okay. What was this? I was given this as a piece of news that I missed. I had an LLM policy for rustling. All right, 3 files changed. It's open. Oh, wow. Okay, so this... What are... Okay. I feel like there's context in this. Can I unhide this for me? I don't think I can. Okay, well, maybe I need to read the. We've gotten so many comments before, uh, before the file even started. Okay, okay. This is a moderation policy for LLMs are used in Rust slang. For additional information, blah, blah, blah. Using LLMs while working on the Rust slang. Rust is conditionally allowed when done with care. LLMs are not a substitute for thought. We do not allow them to be used in ways that risk losing our shared social and technical understanding of the project, nor in ways that hurt our goal of creating a strong community. These are way too vague. I mean, like, these are ideas that they're going to set forth. Now, the policy should support them. Ideas can be vague, and that's okay. This should have been not, and we don't allow them to be used in ways. It should have been posed as like, our policy should prohibit them from being allowed. You're giving the intent of the policy. You don't word it this way just because this makes it very unclear. We are aware that many causes in this policy are unenforceable. Okay, then don't make it. You cannot make a policy that's unenforceable. The reason you, like, I have had this argument with many people who write policies for companies. If you make a policy that's unenforceable, then you don't enforce it because it's unenforceable. And when you don't enforce it, it erodes the ability of all of your policies, right? Because when you stop enforcing one policy, why can you enforce another policy, right? So you cannot make a policy that's unenforceable. Our goal is not to catch every violation. Instead, our goal is to remove plausible deniability, to force a choice between following the policy and intentionally violating it. I don't understand this statement. Our goal is to remove plausible deniability. From who? Who has the You mean from the person? But it's unenforceable. Also, who reads the policies? Only probably the core people that aren't doing this anyways. Are you guys still just marveling over my horse drawing? I think you guys are still just very it is a horse. I do need to get it now. I do need an HTMX poster, don't I? You know what I need to do is I need to get the HTMX poster and I need to like put it in a frame that's like lit up with some LEDs. This sounds like a fantastic streaming setup. Oh my gosh. This is not entirely true. There is actually direct harm in money laundering, right? I mean, you're laundering it because of criminal activity. So you're enabling the criminal activity, which would be direct harm. Right. This is the direct harm. Or the people who got robbed. the people held at gunpoint and robbed? I don't know, yeah. Privacy? Russell, the assistant should listen for HTMX. That's amazing. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. That is awesome. Privacy doesn't cause harm. I don't understand what we're saying here. Did I say that privacy caused harm? I did not mean to imply that. Yeah, if I did, I didn't mean to imply that. I guess I'm trying to... We're saying it's indirect because it enables crime. Not that, and thus we decide that it's harmful. Not that it is a harm in and of itself, other than the fact that it directly enables crime. You know, if you could steal all the money but never then spend it, it doesn't matter. See, I consider it to cause direct crime, right? Because, like, it enables the crime. So, like, to me, and I'm not saying we get rid of lock-picking kits, you can say that lock-picking kits cause crime or enables that crime. The crime of picking the door and getting into a place that you're not supposed to be. The crime is breaking and entering, but it was caused by hacking or by picking a lock or whatnot. Money laundering, stealing money is made possible by money laundering. You literally couldn't steal money if you couldn't launder money, right? So I think it directly enables crime. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. You could steal money and then just not leverage it, yeah. I suppose. You could just steal it and burn it. If you're the Joker, you just steal it and burn it. I suppose, yes. Yeah. I suppose. Suppose you could do that. My line happens with the assistance of financial sector. The amount which happens with knowing assistance is a matter of some dispute. Reason compliance departments are so thorough in explaining to all employees what money laundering is that it often looks like creative solutions to a financial challenge posed by complexities of a customer's business, i.e., the thing society expects financial institutions to charge money for solving. This often results in a sort of principal agent problem where a firm would, in its heart of hearts, prefer not to facilitate money laundering, but where individual employees of the firm might follow their local incentive. Wait, I don't understand this. This is often the resort. This is often results in a sort of principal-agent problem where a firm would, in its heart of hearts, prefer not to facilitate money laundering, but where the individual employees of the firm might follow their local incentive. Why would you follow your local incentive gradients into knowingly facilitating it anyways? Like, I don't know why. I guess I'm missing the picture of why this would be. And indeed, a substantial portion of the job of compliance department is failing not the customer, but the employees of the bank. You'll hear a reference to gray money. This is less common in the U.S. In part, is simply an LA versus LIFT distinction in regional usage of English. In part, this is because some American financial info will involve HR if you describe money as having a color rather than green. There are, of course, many speakers of English of whom the history of current relevance of the U.S. Blah blah blah, which is a way to understand that this is a social construct. Money is neither dirty nor clean. It's a state of nature. But yeah, sure, we understand that. It is necessarily a subjective belief held by certain actors about the consequence of actions of others. Well, while this is true, ill-gained money is what we would consider dirty money. It is not subjective, right? It's not really necessarily subjective. We're saying that money you obtain through illegal means is dirty, right? It's not as subjective. And we have a legal, a legal structure to define what ill-gained money is. So like, it's not subjective. Dirty money is a very objective thing. It happens to be directly relevant to the subject we often believe can be measured precisely and objectively. Knowing if the money is ill-gained can be subjective, right? Like, you don't know as a bank teller whether that person got I have $100,000 to store in my bank. Do you know if it's legitimate or not? That is subjective, sure. Anyways, I think I see the point that they're trying to make. Sorry, I was trying to understand what was going on here. Yeah, does anybody have any better news to cover than this? I do want to understand what is. I guess there's something going on here, but I can do this in my own time and wrap my head around it. There seems to be a lot of chit chat about it. I'll have to look over it. I'll look over it some other time, on my own time then. Try to understand what's going on. I didn't know this had happened, or that there was anything here. All right. Horses, horse drawing lessons. That's up next. We can all learn to draw fantastic horses. One second, I want to see that HTMX horse again. No, that's not the one. This one. 12 by 18. Okay, this will be good. We'll get it to light up. Okay, I learned something. I've done a lot of research this last week. And you guys should appreciate that. I have been barking up the wrong tree. I'm actually like really frustrated with myself. I thought this would be easy. You know how I've gotten this, and I wanted to use it to make my own voice command line. Well, this has a lot of limitations that I didn't know about. Now, it's still awesome, and I'm still happy that I'm supporting them. But I think I'll have to flash it with my own firmware. And the reason I say that is, let me plug it back in so that it will show up in the dashboard. Localhost, which is Home Assist. Oh, it's not a localhost. It's 192.168.5. Yeah, 18 or 8. Okay. So, let's go to settings, voice assistants, assistant device. This one. Now, we've been trying to train wake words. And I may have figured out how to train a wake word, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I get exactly these wake words, period. Because these are not open wake words, these are micro open wake words, and they're directly on the device. This device. This device does not support streaming wake words. So one of the things that I attempted to do, which we can go to AI assistance here, was to make it a streaming wake word engine and send it to Alfred, my good man. So I can do this, but this device doesn't do streaming wake words. And it only does these. We can train a micro open wake word, and it doesn't actually matter, unfortunately. It doesn't actually matter because I have to take over the firmware to put it on there. And that's something I had been avoiding doing. I hadn't really wanted to take over the firmware of the device. I had kind of wanted something out of the kit. So basically, out of the box, this is all I can do. I don't like these. Mycroft, Naboo, and Jarvis. Okay, I told you to not listen to me. I don't love these. So, what would you guys prefer? To train a micro open wake word, and put it on the device? Or would you prefer streaming to open wake word? I can tell you my preference, but I wanted to hear from you guys what you thought would be more interesting. Or do you want to do a streaming service that detects wake words? I can give you guys some time. I need to make a cup of coffee. I need to go upstairs. I need to stretch my legs. I'll tell you my preference, but I'm actually okay doing whatever you guys would like. Whether it's programming the ESP32s, which I already got the software, so I can actually take control of these with the device builder. So I can actually use this to take over the device and reprogram it. But then what I need to know is, are we going for open wake word with a streaming engine or micro wake word without one? That's for you guys to decide. I'm going to make a cup of coffee while you guys play Wordle, a challenging mode. Why am I doing that? That's not what I wanted at all. I wanted Twitch, chat, cargo run Wordle game challenge. Boom. Bruce, I keep forgetting. I need to finish this game too. I need to finish this game. It's open for, it is open firmware. So no. I can take over, this device and update it. Absolutely no problem. And that's, I have to do that either way, right? Because either way, what I need to do is I need to either put a micro wake word on it, and that actually updating the firmware. Because so one of the annoyance to me is if I take over the device in Home Builder, I don't get any upstream updates anymore, right? So if they release an update for it, it doesn't automatically update anymore for me, even though all I did was put the micro wake word on it. The other option is I take the device over and I just have it stream all of its audio to a server that I run locally, right? Either way, I take over the device and it no longer follows the upstream. So that doesn't change no matter what. But yeah, it's absolutely open firmware. I'm absolutely happy to support them. You got Wordle in 2 today. Get this one in 2. I challenge you, Scott. Get this one in 2. Just get this one. That's the challenge, okay? I'm not going easy on you guys today. Micro wake word. You're voting for micro wake word? Okay. Oh no. That was your word guess. I'm sorry. Oh. I was like, oh, okay, that's what you want to go. When I get back, I'll let you guys know what I'd like to do. We probably will do both at the end of the day, but I'll do whichever Twitch wants to do first. And I'll be right back in like, give me 15 minutes. Thanks everybody for joining. Also, I really want to appreciate the Mouthpad was really cool. I want to promote more open source, more companies that are doing things like Mousepad. So going forward, huge thanks to you, and keep those flowing. That's super cool. And yeah, please keep those flowing. Oh my goodness. Almost in 2. You guys are doing well today. You guys are doing well today for the challenge. My goodness. All right. Why would you think of 3 E's? Why? Why, Russell? I hate geese. Nice job. That was a fantastic guess. That was beautiful. You know what? You know what I need to do? I need to remove all standard English words from the challenging word list, right? Right now, there's non-challenging words in the challenging word list. There just happens to also be challenging words. So I need to go through and edit that. Basically, what I need to do is take the Wordle word list and remove any of those words. That should be a pretty simple script to whip up. Are you using the Twitch API? Yes. Yes, I am. What about Mies? English plurals. You just gotta love them. Russell. Some of them were said 1,000 years ago, okay? 1,000 years ago. Don't exaggerate. Not all of them are 5,000 years old. Is it possible to answer via chat? That's what you guys were doing. Oh, did you not see? Your guess was the one that was picked, right? So when you guess here, it starts counting when I put the guess in. That was your guess that was picked. It was not me doing it. So the timer is counting down because a valid choice was picked. Oh, no. I was on break. This is Twitch Plays. I actually have no way to interact with it. I didn't build a backdoor for me. This is Twitch Plays Wordle. So see, that was my guess right there. No, that's yours. I need to implement the leaderboard. I haven't gotten to that yet. Pause is not a command. Oh, that is a guess though. Pause is a guess. Sorry. I get so confused. Is it open source? Yes, it's open source. It's not the greatest project to contribute to right now because it's kind of 2 projects combined into one. So it's kind of 3 projects combined into one. So I'm actually working on removing them, separating them out into their own thing. So I'm working on that. Yellow means it's part of the word, but in the wrong place. So we have an A, an S, and an E, but they're not A, S, and E. But yes, it is open source. You can go see it right now. It's not in the best state for you to go see it right now. Let's see. It is Twitch Alerts. So it's Twitch Alerts. One of the other projects is my Twitch Alerts. So when somebody follows or subscribes, they get a custom AI generated Twitch alert. That's my own thing. That being said, it's in a bad state right now. And I haven't even pushed this brand. We're actually working on this over here. which, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. I was going to say, the last time I did anything, like 2 weeks ago, but this breaks it down into Bruce, which is the game player, and Twitch alerts and Twitch comments. So it's almost in a place where people could start working with it. The last thing that I need to redo, the last thing I really need to do is get better authentication. Right now, you have to manually go and get like an OAuth token, and then that OAuth token will fail on you in a little bit, and you have to like go and get it again. So yeah. Yeah, Scott, I also want to make it where it highlights you green if it accepted it. Like right now you have no feedback whether it accepted it other than did the timer start ticking down. So like if you type a word that's not a word, it doesn't accept it. It either starts with an A or has an A in the middle. S somewhere in here. And the E is anywhere but here. Ashen. Ashen is good. I like Ashen, right? Because that puts the A here, the S here. H, which is a new word. Yeah, I think Ashen's it. I don't have a better word. I'm voting for Ashen. There's my vote. Beautiful. Is it new character? What did I say? Did I say new word? New character? It's a new character. Look, English is difficult. It's forced upon me by my ancestors. I said word. As soon as you said that, I was like, ooh. Ooh, I bet I said word. Okay, so we have a decision to go with here. And I'm going to tell you my feelings on it. I think personally, I want to pursue a centralized voice processor, right? So what I mean by that is that I want to stream my wake words from my devices. And most of the reason I want that is I want to have different agents that do different things that support different models. And so I kind of don't want to do, and what I don't like is when the wake word exists on the machine. Especially because these machines they only have enough memory to have 2 micro wake words installed at a time. So if I wanted 3 different agents, I can't do that, and that limits me. So, Alfred, my good man, I think should be a wake word. And we need to convert this to a streaming wake word machine. Question, do you guys really want to see doing the micro wake word and doing it on the device? Because if you do, I still think that's cool, and I'm happy to do it. If that's what you guys would prefer. Either way starts with us taking over the device. Okay, so we give it what Wi-Fi. Okay. So can I am I gonna need to know? I was hoping that I would see a list of the things that I know it's an ESP32. I don't know. We'll have to go look for the spec, I guess. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize I would need this. I thought maybe it would see it on my network. So I could just connect this to the computer. Maybe I do that. One second. Let me try that. Oh, this is not this computer, right? Never mind. This wouldn't work anyways because my Home Assistant is on a different machine. The DGX Spark is my only AI appliance, yes. So it's my only dedicated AI appliance. I'd like to get more, but I can't afford them. But I also have a little machine that can do the wake word. The open wake word doesn't require a whole lot. So I'm going to stream that and it's going to be a dedicated AI appliance, but it's just a small 16 gig. Like open wake word does not take a whole lot. It's kind of really cool how they engineered it because it only looks at certain amounts of streams. The only thing that I don't know is I'm going to have at least, you know, in theory, we can have as many streams as there are devices. And so for every device we add, we'll have to add a processing stream. But it's really lightweight. So I guess it depends on whether you consider anything that's doing AI an AI appliance, but those are all doing CPU stuff. Okay, let's find what this is. S3. This one right here. Cool. Oh, I wonder, one second. Can I look for voice preview? This is the ESP32 S3 display microphone speaker. I could just do generic. I really wanted it to be, I really was hoping to load what they had on it. Okay, is the search type sensitive? So this is ESP32. Let's do ESP32. Why do I not get this? Oh, because this one is ESP32 without the okay, I see. So there's no fuzzy search here. I was hoping I could just do like the Home Assistant voice preview. I wonder if I can, and I just don't know the name. It says ESP Home preloaded. Let's go to the software. What did this call it? ESP Home. ESP Home. Let's search for ESP Home here. I don't see that here. What I want to see maybe is there ESP Home here? Is it just this? Is the big featured one? This says ESP32C6 though. I don't know what the difference between the C6 and the S3 are though. I don't have this. Let's see, data. Okay, so this is home. This will install it. Okay, at least we have that in case I screw stuff up really badly. Home Assist Voice PE. Let me look for PE. PE. I was hoping I could just start. All right, let's Google this. Let's Google ESP device builder. ESP device builder. HA Home Assistant Voice Preview Edition. VPE. Has anybody done this? I kind of wanted to just add it as it was. I didn't want to create import from a file. But I want to pull it from the device. Oh, discover. I was doing all this, and this right here was right. Oh. Well, my friends. Sometimes it's right here. I thought this should. Okay. This is the problem, but it's okay. A little AI-ness in there. If you use M-, naturally, you should just move on to something else. Semicolon. You should use a semicolon instead. Device name. Basement AI mesh. AI. Basement AI thinking machine in my office. Office. Basement office. I think I have to do, I'm gonna cone of silence y'all, sorry. I think you've already seen my Wi-Fi SSID. But take control. I clicked the button, take control. Taking control. Can't import. Config doesn't validate. Host names can only be 31 characters long? Basement AI thinking machine in my office is too long. Okay, fine. Basement office Mick. Take control. You should validate. Okay, you're gonna see my Wi-Fi network, but they should have validated in the form. Like the fact that that was not validated in the form that the. Oh, why wasn't it updated? Okay, interesting. My head's in the way, isn't it? Okay, so I want to see. One second, this will be cool. What is its wake word again? Hey, Jarvis. Hey, Jarvis. Why isn't it doing anything? Is this a problem? One second. Now I've changed its name too. So I think it's still off, right? I think it's still off, which is why it's also this one doesn't work. There we go. It's all still configured here, right? Hey, Jarvis. Okay. So we now have that, and it's working, but I don't see any logs. And I don't know if it's this error, invalid encryption key. We can't connect to ESP Home API for Basement Office Mic. Basement Office Mic, invalid encryption key. The received name is wrong, right? Which makes sense because I gave it a new name, but this is the old name, Home Assistant Voice. It's something basement now, right? Not logs. If we look at this, it's supposed to be basement office mic or something like that. It's something stupid. So it's out of sync. Flash to update. Maybe I need to flash it, right? I think I need to flash it. How do I do that? Do I say flash now? Flash me. Do it. Out of sync, flash to update. I should be able to click this. I should be able to click this right here. Update. Maybe I need to click update. I just needed to click update. It said, it should have said flash. Because everything else said it needed to flash it. Now, maybe I need to be running ESP Home Device Builder, not on the Home Assistant, because Home Assistant is little. Can I be running ESP Home Device Builder on my local machine? ESP Home Device Builder. Yes, please. Good Arch support. Yep, I trust him. Probably getting attacked right now. Just full trust. Now, what I'll need to do is I'll need to get this connected with Home Assistant, right? Is that a real ad you saw, Russell? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Join the most real place on the internet. Sadly, the most real place on the internet is not a high bar. It's like, we're not talking about a high bar that we've hit here, right? Yeah, I definitely don't think I want to be running ESP Home Device Builder on... I think I want to run it... I think actually, mostly, I want to run stuff... I don't want to run stuff on my Home Assistant. I want my Home Assistant to do Home Assistant things only. That or I've been thinking about building a new cluster again. See if I can't scrap it together. And running Home Assistant on that Kubernetes cluster. So that it has a little bit more oomph to it. Because like having Home Assistant on the Raspberry Pi seemed really cool. But it's stuff like this where it's like, well, I don't want to run these things on the Home Assistant. I want to run these things on another thing. I forget what I said when you responded with, yeah, on the left when you were on Reddit. Did I have Reddit open over here? Oh, I did open Reddit. Oh, this. It's here. Join the most real place on the internet. And then look at this picture. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with the internet? Oh. Yeah, I don't need a recipe for disaster. I usually just eyeball it. Is that a quote from you? That's fantastic. That is fantastic. All right. Now, is this just running on the background? Okay, so I just need to launch it once, right? Okay, so we can just do ESP Home, right? ESP Home. And really, that shouldn't launch anything. That should just launch, like, yeah. Okay, so this is now running on my local host. But I need this to connect to... All right, how will you use the ESP Home desktop app? Please tell us how you tend to use the ESP Home desktop app. Oh, this is interesting. Recommended for existing users of a ESP Home Device Builder to use this app for compute power to build your device firmware. So basically, my little Raspberry Pi can just use my desktop when I'm doing stuff. Oh, okay. I like this. Let's see. Open pairing window. Oh no. I need to go here. Okay. And I need to open the pairing window here. I need settings, apps. Hurry, I'm pressured in a pairing window right now. Configuration. Oh no. What did it tell me? Pair requests are only accepted when the window is open. I'm at 4 minutes. We gotta get it. Send a pair request. Open settings. Send builds on the dashboard that should be there and pair with this build server. Okay. I'm on settings. Show unusual operational. Okay. Disable external. No. This doesn't look interesting. Wait. It said go to settings. Wait. That's configuration. One second. Open settings. Where's do I open the settings? It doesn't look like this. In the web UI, I don't see anything that has settings. Oh wait, maybe up here. Okay, I see. Settings. I found it. Enable remote build. How do I get them? Send build on the build here. Then pair with this build server. Pair requests are only accepted when this window. So nobody's sending a pair request. Everybody's just saying we have a pairing session. This looks like the right place, but I don't know. It doesn't have like a send a pairing request. It just says there's no paired ones. Boom. Okay, one second. I'm here. A review request. Accept. That is my not inconsiderable prowess of software. My considerable might was bored down on connecting these two things, and I did it without the documentation. You guys should be proud of me. Now, I think locally I am connected. So next time we do this, it should happen locally. It should happen on my computer instead of destroying my my poor little Uh-oh. It was canceled? Oh no. It was canceled? Why was it canceled? Update. Come on, go for it. Now, is this happening on my... It doesn't look like it. Oh, it is. It is. Cool. Let's see how much faster this goes. This is blazing fast. You saved negative 50 seconds from not reading the docs. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's the hurtful words. Oh, I had something cool happen. One second. Let me see if I can't find it. I had something cool happen. I collaborated with some people. I say I collaborated. I got to express my feelings about a company. Okay, yeah. This was cool. This company mentioned me. You know, nobody mentions me on LinkedIn, and I realize that it's not a big deal, but I was gonna give this shout out while we're waiting for that to build. I have gotten to work with Step Security, not sponsored. And I love Step Security. I think it's one of the best security products that I have got to implement. And I can publicly say that. So yeah, anyways, I paired with them and helped them craft their product. Anyways, that happened. I was excited about it. Oh, Columbus, Ohio is like so far away from me. I love that it puts Columbus, Ohio. That's like what people think. It's amazing. Yeah, Step Security has actually been a really cool company. I think it's honestly, my initial take was way spicier. Because like it basically implemented everything that GitHub Actions should have originally implemented. As far as security goes. So like my original take was a whole lot spicier, but not one that I could give on behalf of a company. So that is on behalf of Aerospike, which was really cool that I got to do that, where I got to give that statement on behalf of Aerospike and Step Security, because I know that I've talked to them about you all about them. If you guys use GitHub Actions, I highly recommend it. I should talk to them about giving a demo on stream sometime, because I want them to do is just give me a Step Security environment for my my null channel, because I would actually use it and show it off to you all. It's really cool. Not sponsored. This is my worst part, is things that I really stand behind, I'm gonna tell people about anyways. And so there's no reason to sponsor me. Oh, dang. What's up? How are you doing? Uh-oh, we have some shadow declarations in there. I was hoping this would go... Oh, yeah. But this is cool because it's building on this machine, even though, it's building on this machine. and not my Home Assistant. This is awesome. So anytime we're doing this is engineered well. I like whoever came up with the ESP Home Device Builder. This is good. I'm wondering if it's because I renamed it. Because receive name, Home Assistant voice. This is not the name I gave it. Let me just give it this name. Can I edit it to be this name? Let me give it its old name back. Where do I change this variable, please? I'd like to change this variable. Where is this? Oh, it's right here. Oh, okay. It's right. Oh, I see. We're just gonna change it back to this. We're gonna save that. And we're gonna see if this gets us back into the good graces of, did I brick my machine? Did I brick it already? Okay. Now let's see if I can view logs. Cool. Okay. This is a different error. Now let's try updating this. And it's nice. So we're at least different. Okay. The YAML's bad. Okay. Oh no. What did it not like? Failed config. Clone succeeded, but checkout failed. Okay, so no device. What device is this on? I'm a little confused. Is this on my computer? Is it on my thing, or is it on the actual physical device? I don't know. I don't know at this point. Where was this cloning? Was this on my local computer? Too bad I'm easy and cheap. Yeah. Too bad. I have room here. 500 gigs. So it shouldn't be here. Footlong, how are you? It's good to have you here. First time. So, no space left on device. Now, is that on my Home Assistant? My Home Assistant was, but it was, this was on, this is building on Arch Linux, right? Yeah. So, do I have it configured where it doesn't have space? Like it doesn't have a place to do the build? But it says it compiled it, right? Where do I see the... Do I have to SSH into this? 100% used. 0 gigabytes free. This is maybe the problem. Move data disk. I think I actually have a drive in it. And I don't think I'm using that drive. Because this is like 15 gigs. I think I have like a 256 gig stick in it. But this says 0 bytes, so this is not it. All right, let's see if we can't just clean some stuff up. Backups. That is not a whole lot of information. Show all backups. Let's just delete the 2 years ago. Delete. Delete. I don't really have anything worth backing up anyways. All right, apps. I kind of want all of these. Okay. What am I vibing? 0 storage. How are these apps taking up so much space? Do I have anything? I don't have anything here. Right? I basically, and the only apps I have are these. I wonder, oh, you know what? You know what? We did, how big is our open wake word that we made? What did we put that in? Alfred, my good man. Where did we train that? Where did we... What did I even call that? Why can't I remember a week ago? Nope, that was our fine tuning. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading these. What did we call it? What did we call it? I don't see it at all. Did I just put it in temp somewhere? I wouldn't do that, would I? Let's look at the date here of last touch. It should be in July. AI games. No, nope. July 3, that's too old. Jan. But no, like, seriously, where did I put this? I know that I started playing around with micro wake words, but that's not what we were doing. We were doing wake words. Oh, these are like old. I have no idea where we put that. I have no idea. So we put a Samba share on here, right? Can we even connect to that still? I don't know if we can. I don't even remember what the password was. How do I do a Samba share again? I don't remember. I slept since then. It's a Windows, right? So like, how was that I did the, is it network? Did I have to download something for Samba? Samba. Linux connect to Samba. It's Samba. It's Samba. Samba. Share. Samba. No. I thought that I just used like I thought that I just used files. Obviously, probably not. Nope. Was it this? 192.168.1.5? What is the network of this Samba drive? What's the... What's the IP address that it serves on? Oh, it's SMB. It's SMB. It's SMB. So I need to do like SMB. And maybe I don't need to do that. Probably should need the slashes. Let's do that. Ah, look at that. Look at that. I did connect to it. One second. Cone of silence. I got it. I need to go look at what we set the password to be. Hold, please. Hold. Oh, the username is Home Assistant. Hold, please. Okay. So then we have this open wake word, and we have this, which is only a few kilobytes. All right, well, we'll delete the whole thing. Done. Okay. There we go. Alfred, my good man, has been removed. That was not nearly as much cleanup as I was hoping. Oh, thank you for showing my home. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I am using the yellow, and I know one of the things that I know is that I can actually put a actual NVMe drive on there, which is what I thought I was using, but I don't think I am. Because when I looked at move data disk, it only had this one, which doesn't read as an NVMe disk, and it says it has size of 0 bytes. It also is nice, I can add networks to storage, so I might do that as well. Okay. Okay. Where else can I backups? Oh, I can delete the Samba share now, right? Let's do that. Let's do that. I don't need that app anymore. Now I want to actually delete it. Uninstall. Thank you. Also remove app data. Done. Does that. $13.5 gigabytes. Oh no, it's backed up to 13.6. Dang. Dang. Okay. Yeah, data disk is running on low. Yeah. Clear up storage. Clean the database. There are several things you can do. Clean the database. System repairs. Settings, system repair. All right, let's go to settings. System. Repairs. This is not true in my instance, right? Oh, it is. It's right here. System information. Okay, it is true. It is true. Scroll down to recorder and check the estimated database size. Recorder. It's not very big. It's not very big. Okay. I deleted backups. I uninstalled unused apps. Okay, so I've done everything at this point. It just means that this ESP32, or not the ESP, but the Home Assistant Yellow had very little storage to start with. Let's see, is there open wake word? You know, I could remove open wake word. I could remove open wake word because we could run that somewhere else as well for the streaming. Honestly, that's probably good. Let's stop that. Let's uninstall, also remove app data, uninstalled. This is nice, I want to keep this. Oh, 13.2. I'm afraid of rebooting it. Because what if, you know, like when you're at max storage, things can get funky at max storage. But part of me is also thinking that it's not seen the cleanup of apps, right? Because I deleted apps and app data, and none of this has changed. So I actually think that we actually probably have storage. We just don't see it. That's my guess right now. Let's restart it. Where's the restart? Restart is somewhere in here, isn't it? Oh, it's right here. It's right at the top. Hopefully it comes back. All right. Let's see if that helped. We're still just rocking 0 gigs. Okay. Like, I have removed stuff. I don't know how it doesn't think. Another thing that's interesting here, when I was doing this, not that, this. It only did the build on this. It copied out the code on the Home Assistant. All right, I need to give it real storage. Okay, that's what I need to do. And I can give it network storage too. That's gonna require me shutting it down, and the device is upstairs in the networking closet anyways. So I can't do that on stream very well. All right, remember, next week, I won't stream on Saturday. It will be Sunday afternoon. So probably about nowish. I will give an every time zone link on Saturday. But my guess would be about nowish is when I'll start streaming. And then remember, the weekend after August 18th, 2026 calendar. So August 18th, I'm having the procedure on my right arm. If I stream Saturday, I will be extremely bored. I'm not a person that just watches movies or anything. So I actually do want to stream on the 22nd as long as I'm not in too much pain. That being said, I am not sure what I'll be able to do. It will be, the doctor said it's very much up to like what I'm capable of doing. So if I can use a mouse and keyboard, great. If I can't, I might just be talking to Codex and seeing how well I can get that to work. So, you know, we'll see what that looks like. I'm just letting you guys know that that will be happening then. I expect to be, so like I'm taking this week and a half off of work. I expect to be fully working on the 31st. So I expect to be back the 29th for sure in normalness. So anyways, just so you all know, that's what my August looks like. I'm very excited about this surgery, by the way. I'm gonna get the surgery done on my right elbow here, and then I can get it done on my left elbow in November. So full recovery will take 3 months because I ruptured my tendons in my forearm a year ago. So I'm very much looking forward to this. It will hurt though. And they don't even put you to sleep for it. Local anesthetics. Ugh. Ugh. Not looking forward to that part. Okay. Why don't you use Aquin? I don't know what Aquin is. Seems like there's a lot of stuff. Anyways, let's find somebody to raid. Do we have a good person to raid today? Do we know of a, Theo is streaming. Haven't raided Theo for a little while. I haven't raided Theo for a little while. Let's raid Theo. If you guys haven't seen Theo, he's a raiding buddy of mine. Go learn something new about hacking. Thanks to everybody for joining. I appreciate you coming in and showing off those fantastic bits of news. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.